Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Ajaraha Asmi, Amaraha Asmi, इति यहा आत्मानं प्रपद्यते तदात्मना तिष्ठतोस्य कृतप्रारब्धकल्पना. The one who is finally abiding in this eternal experience of being, the absolute reality, the self, for him where is the place for the prarabdha, sanchita, agami karma? See? It is something like this. A person who is sitting in the car and the driver is driving the car. So the traffic rules are applied on the driver and not on the passenger. Passenger doesn't get penalty. In the same manner, if we have this notion that I am doing something, I am a jiva, then only this prarabdha is applicable. But the one who is living in this world through the body but never as the body, through the mind but never as the mind, to such a wise person, tadatmana tishtadasya, he who is living like this, kuta prarabdha kalpana, where is the place for prarabdha? Prarabdham siddhati tada yada dehatmana sthitihi. If we are living as body, then the cause and effect in the form of prarabdha karma is valid. And dehatma bhavaha na eva ishtaha. But spiritual life does not mean living as a body, but living through the body. And therefore, prarabdham tyajyatam ataha. Don't give undue importance to prarabdha. Prarabdha is very potent tool for leading a non-reactionary life in the relative plane. It is very important. But living in the relative plane itself is a bondage. So if we are living in the relative plane, then this prarabdha is very effective. See? Like I was talking to Shyam, many people have this funny notion that why India is not progressing, because chalta hai, this attitude. But I tell you, because of this chalta hai attitude only we are happy. See? Because we are no more reacting. And therefore, this prarabdha is valid, dehatmana sthitihi. If we are living as the body, yes, it is required. However, living as the body is not the spiritual life. Ataha prarabdham tyajyatam. Therefore, get out of this prarabdha, etc. Prarabdha kalpana pyasya dehasya bhrantireshahi. And then we say, no, the body is made out of the thread of prarabdha. In Vivek Chudamani, Bhagavan Shankaracharya brings this topic. The body is made out of the threads of prarabdha, like we construct any bridge. So, at the time of construction only, it is estimated that the bridge should last for 100 years. And there is some mistake in calculation and the bridge collapses after 100 minutes. So, when a bridge is estimated to live for n number of years, so also the body is estimated to live for n number of years. This is what is called as the prarabdha. But the question comes, how the body also have prarabdha? Because prarabdha kalpana api dehasya bhrantihi esha. That is also an illusion. There cannot be a prarabdha for the body because the body never suffers. See, when it is very hot and we are sleeping, We, the one embodied, that suffers, not the body. And therefore, prarabdha even for the body is not acceptable. Because adhyastasya kuta sattvam, asatyasya kuto janihi, ajatasya kuto nashaha, prarabdham asataha kutaha. Now here, beautiful logic is given. Adhyastasya kuta sattvam. When the snake is superimposed on the rope, is that snake real? So if it is not real, asatyasya kuto janihi, if it is not, how can you attribute a date of birth to that snake? Further, ajatasya kuto nashaha, if the snake is never born, how it will ever die? And finally, prarabdham asataha kutaha, so that which is not, to that where from the prarabdha will come? See friends, therefore this prarabdha is fine. If we want to continue to live in this miserable relative experience, but that is not the right way. Therefore, the body is superimposed on the reality. Therefore, you will see, we may go on talking in the language of the doctors. If you do this thing, this will happen. If you do this thing, this will happen. Nothing is standardized. You cannot standardize. See, there are people who are eating the whole live animal and yet continue to be thin. Where the fat producing thing goes. And there are people who are observing strict diet, regular exercise, all the time sitting in the weighing scale. How much 10 gram? And yet they keep on putting weight. What logic? See friends. Therefore, here the teacher says, when the body is superimposed, and when we imagine we are fat and heavy, then we start working. If somebody is a huge mini elephant right from childhood, that person can never imagine that he is fat. See? There is to be one boy, now he is a grown-up man almost. When he was in class 8, 9, that time I used to tell him, hey man, reduce. You are when you are in class 10, you are looking like 40 years old man. But he never accepted that he is fat. Because he has not experienced any other option in his life. See? Like those people who eat like buffalo, huge quantity, they can never imagine that they are eating more. It is normal. I am not eating more. See? Therefore, this body also cannot have any prarabdha. It is just superimposed. It is not real, and therefore, prarabdham asataha kutaha, there is no prarabdha. If this is so, my dear sir, then why do you talk about prarabdha in the scriptures? Why do you bring this topic? Jnanena ajnanakarasya samulasya layoyali tishtati ayam katham dehaha iti shankavato jadan samadhatum bahya drishtya prarabdham vadati shrutihi natu dehadi satyatva bodhanaya vipaschita. Jnanena ajnanakarasya yadi samulaha layaha, if one has come to realize his essential nature, he does not take himself to be the body or the jiva anymore, meaning the cause is there but the effect is destroyed. If the effect is destroyed, there cannot be a cause. So if one has come to realize that he is no more the body or the jiva, the effect is destroyed. And yet we see the wise people, Jivan Mukta people, they continue to exist. How do they live? It is something like this. If we have seen the rope as a rope, we will no more see the snake. Snake will disappear. In the same manner, if we have come to realize that I am the Satchidananda infinite conscious blissful reality, then the body and the jiva should disappear. And yet it doesn't disappear, it continues. How can you justify this? Jadan, this kind of stupid questions are required to be answered. Because when we see the wise man also having modifications in his body, the health is there, the disease is there are some problems. And then we imagine, if he is realized, why does he have cancer? If he is realized why he is angry, if he is realized how he has fallen down and died. See, this kind of questions are required to be answered, and therefore, katham dehaha tishtati iti shankavato jadan. This kind of dull-witted inquiry by the fools when it is conducted to answer their questions, samadhatum, to give them some kind of reply, bahya drishtya shrutihi prarabdham vadati. Bahya drishtya, only at the superficial level, so that the mind of this dull-witted person becomes quiet. Natu dehadi satyatva bodhanaya vipasita, not for telling that the body identification of the wise man is same like the body identification of the other wise man. It is not for this purpose. So to understand the whole thing in simple language, it will be the ignorant person lives as the body. The wise person lives through the body. There's a difference. When I live as the body, then I am man, woman, young, old, healthy, unhealthy, beauty, awful, so many things will come. But when I am living through the body, then the attributes of the body do not pertain to me. This is the basic difference. But the ignorant people do not understand this, because their question is, how can somebody live through the body but not as the body? Is it ever possible? Because it is not possible for them. Therefore, how it is possible for the other people? See, we look at the world as we look at ourselves. And therefore, bahya drishtya prarabdham vadati. Only from the superficial point of view, the scriptures talk about prarabdha, and not for establishing that the wise man is also living as the body like the ignorant people live. Because now hereafter, the teacher takes a very deep theme. Paripurnam anadyantam aprameyam avikriyam sadghanam chidghanam nityam anandaghanam avyayam pratyakekara sampurnam anantam sarvatomukham ahayam anupadeyam anadheyam anashrayam nirgunam nishkriyam sukshmam nirvikalpam niranjanam anirupya swarupam yan manovacham agocharam. And one or two more verses. Sat samruddham swatassiddham shuddham buddham anidrisham ekamevatvayam brahma neha nanasti kinchana. He who has come to realize this, what he has come to realize? Paripurnam. There is nothing lacking in me. See? Like the space never feels incomplete. Because everything is in the space, and yet space is beyond everything. See? Therefore, paripurnam, wherever there is apurnata, wherever there is a sense of incompleteness, there only the desire, karma, karma phala begins. So paripurnam, anadi, anantam, beginningless and endless, aprameyam, can never become an object of knowledge, avikriyam, which has never modified at all, sadghanam, chidghanam, anandaghanam, that really is the mass of conscious blissful existence, nityam, ever the same, avyayam, never reduced by any means, pratyak ekarasam purnam. And this is not objective understanding, but it is the subjective experience. Ekarasam purnam. Ekarasam, rasam is that where there is no seed. See, when we enjoy the worldly objects, the seed in the form of an impression is formed. And our whole life is an expression of our impressions. We like something, we dislike something. And our whole life is nothing but the manifestation of our mutual likes and dislikes. Therefore, this pratyak ekarasam purnam, anantam, infinite and unending, sarvato mukham. There are no directions that in this direction it is, but everywhere the same reality, aheyam, and the most important, you cannot reject yourself. This is one very deep thought. That which cannot be rejected is you. God realization. What is that? Now find out what can be rejected. So we come across, we can reject all the upadhis, we can reject our body identification, we can reject our values, we can reject our mind, intellect, everything is rejected. But when it comes to our own presence, we cannot reject our own being. Because we cannot reject ourselves, we cannot gain ourselves. Aheyam anupadeyam. And if we cannot gain ourselves, then don't struggle to gain anything. See friends, see this simple thing can change our life. Don't struggle to have the vision of God. Let the God express through us. If the God can express through us, then alone we are walking the spiritual path. Rather than, why God doesn't give me darshan? What will you do? You will get only objectified understanding. And till such time objectification is maintained, we are far away from the reality. And therefore, aheyam anupadeyam, anadheyam anashrayam. There is nothing which is supported or which is supporting this reality, and anashrayam. It is nothing that is dependent on this. Meaning, in this absolute reality, there is nothing other than the self. Just extend your imagination. Space is called technically as Akash. Kash, this dhatu, this root, has got two meanings. Kash diptau, that which is illuminating. Prakash. From this, Prakash. Akasha, Avakasha, that which is contains everything. So two things. That which is containing everything and that which is eliminating everything. Containing everything, material cause. Eliminating everything, efficient cause. That which is simultaneously containing everything, eliminating everything, and other than this, there is nothing. Now if you have to conceive this, imagine Chidakash as the solid space. See, like the mass of waters. In the water, other than the water, there is nothing. So all the possible past, present and future waves, where are they? They are unmanifest in the ocean. And then they become manifest. And thereafter, again they go back to the same ocean. In the same manner, this conscious reality is the one which is the abode of everything and being, and therefore anashrayam. And the ocean is not dependent on the waves or the other things. Similarly, this conscious space is anashrayam. Nirgunam, Nishkriyam, Sukshmam, Nirgunam. There are no attributes. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. These are the only things we know because we are the victims of our sense organs. Then we go one step further, joy, sorrows, because we are the victims of our mind. Then we go one step further, conceptualization. Therefore, the intellectuals try to understand and conceptualize the reality. Reality is not a concept to be understood intellectually. Nirgunam. So when yato vacho nivartanti aprapya manasasaha, where the language, the mind, the intellect fails to comprehend, that is the reality because nirgunam. If there are no colors and forms, eyes are not required. If there is no smell, nose is not required. If there is no experience of joy and sorrows, mind is not required. If it is not a concept, intellect is not required. Are we not in this category? See, objects have colors and forms. Vision doesn't have color and form. Then the mind has thoughts. The consciousness doesn't have thoughts. This absolute reality, nirgunam, nishkriyam, and therefore no activity is ever possible. Activities are possible only when there is a finite. In the infinite, activities are not possible. And sukshmam, it is subtler than the subtlest. Nirvikalpam, there are no modifications whatsoever. Niranjanam, therefore it cannot be contaminated in the absence of otherness. Anirupyam, and you cannot describe it in any way. Whichever language we use the language which is known to us. And therefore the scripture talk in the language of negation. Like nirgunam, nishkriyam, then anirupam, anirvachyam, aprameyam, because this is all we know. And therefore, anirupyam, sarupam, yet manovacham, agocharam, that which cannot be comprehended by the mind and therefore cannot be spoken of by the speech. As we become subtler in our experience, our speech becomes important. If we have to draw pictures, easy. If we have to explain the emotions, becomes difficult. See? Like I receive sometimes emails. Today I received one email from Australia. Tomorrow I am going. So, Swamiji, come soon. So S O N. So I wrote MISSSS in you. I am missing you. It's like this. So the moment we become subtler, we come at the emotional level, language becomes important. See? And when we come at the intellectual level, concepts are still difficult. See, like we all are using the mobile phones. All that is happening in this is only the virtual reality. But how many of us can understand what is the meaning of virtual reality? Everybody now Dick and Harry is in the phone. And it is only the virtual reality, not the real one. See, how it happens and all that, and therefore when it comes to our essential nature, jan mano vacham gocharam, all the instruments of knowledge, they become failure. This sat samruddham swataha siddham, this absolute existence, self-determined, self-illumined, shuddham, immaculate, where there is no trace of impurity, buddham anidrusham, this conscious principle cannot be spoken as idrusham, like this. Therefore, anidrusham. See, whole language is the language of negation. What it is never told. In Kenopanishad, the teacher tells the student what is the reality. The teacher says that it is unlike the known and the unknown. It is unlike the known and the unknown. Means what? Now you find out what is known. English, mathematics, physics, chemistry, known. So the truth is not like this. What is unknown? German, French, Chinese, it is not like that. Then what it is? You find out. See, the effects are known. The cause is always unknown. From the effects, we infer the cause. See? So when we say it is other than the known and the unknown, what it means? It is beyond cause and effect. That which is beyond cause and effect is beyond time. Because the cause is in the earlier period of time and effect in the later period of time. If it is beyond cause and effect, it is beyond time. If it is beyond time, it is beyond space. Because time and space are mutually replaceable variables. See friends, the more you become subjective, everything quietens down. Therefore, anidrusham, it is unlike anything. Ekameva dvayam brahma, is one without a second, infinite reality. Neha nanasti kinchana. Iha, in this reality, there is no trace of multiplicity. See friends. Therefore, this point I have been emphasizing again and again. Analyze your experience of deep sleep every day before you enter the deep sleep and after you come out of the deep sleep. Spend only 5 minutes. Only 5 minutes. How do we enter the deep sleep? Everything is discarded. Last japa continues. Aham Brahmasmi. Like, I want to sleep, I want to sleep, I want to sleep. And when the I and the want disappears, then the sleep starts. So in the sleep, there is neither I nor want. See, till such time, there is I and the want sleep has not begun. And in that deep sleep experience, there is no sense of otherness, there is no sense of being finite, therefore there is no desire, and therefore there is no worry, and therefore there is all bliss, and therefore we don't want to get out of the sleep, and therefore in satsanga we sleep. This is how, when you analyze your own experiences, the truth becomes easily comprehensive. Ekameva dvayam brahma neha nanasti kinchana svanubhutya swayam jnatva swam atmanam akhanditam. Svanubhutya, now it is no more paroksha jnanam. It is no more only listening somewhere and yes, yes, it is right, yes, yes, yes. But afterwards, no, it is not. So, svanubhutya swayam jnatva. It is no more borrowed knowledge, but it is one direct experience. Swam atmanam akhanditam. Now see friends, waking comes along with the waker, waking goes along with the waker is no more, nowhere. Dream comes with the dreamer, goes away with the dreamer. Dreamer is nowhere. Now if we can find out where the dreamer goes after the dream is over, there the waker goes after the waking is over. But there is one principle in which going and coming is happening, and it is akhanditam. It is not khandita, it is not broken. The waker, when he sleeps, he is cut there. Again, next waking experience comes, a new waker is born. But this akhanda, this thread of consciousness keeps these two wakers together. And we have the illusion like that of garland, that it is a continuity. There is no continuity between yesterday's waker and today's waker, as there is no continuity between yesterday's dreamer and today's dreamer. See friends, akhandam swam atmanam jnatva. In Vedanta, this is called as avasthatraya viveka, discrimination on the basis of analysis of our three planes of experience. When we analyze some data, and if the data is incomplete, can the conclusions be valid? See, it is something like, we go to the doctor and the doctor says, okay, let me see. Yes, your throat is okay. You are healthy. No, but my stomach is bad. Never mind. Throat is okay. You are okay. No. Totality is taken into account. Holistic approach. In the same manner, when we talk about life, we have to include waking experiences. We have to include dreamer, dream experiences. The deep sleeper, deep sleep, and the deep sleeping experiences. The samadhistha purusha, samadhi experience, and the samadhi which begins and ends. Like every experience, jagra, swapna, sushuddhi, samadhi, they begin and end. But in and through there is one common denominator, akhandam atmanam advayam jnatva. That is our essential nature. Friends, as we do not get influenced by the dreamer and his experiences after waking up, but during the dream they are solid. But the moment we wake up, everything is null and void. Wise man is awakened to this unbroken, continuous, absolute reality. See? And therefore, swam atmanam akhanditam svanubhutya swayam jnatva saha siddha susukham tishtam. He is ever living in bliss. That is why, the quality of our life is directly proportionate to the proximity to our essential nature. If we are leading our life at the periphery of our personality, the children are like that, the neighbor is like that, the government is like that, you are at the periphery of the personality. Just take an example, a giant wheel. And when you sit in those cradles of the giant wheel, and when it moves, it goes up, and when it comes down, how do we get in this? But as you start migrating towards the hub, the center of the giant wheel, and come to that point where the giant wheel is moving, you stay there, you don't get influence of the movement of that giant wheel. In the same manner, this wheel of time, creating an illusion of Jagra, Swapna, Sushuddhi, Samadhi, is moving around the hub called as our essential nature. If you root into that, everything will be moving around us, but we will never be influenced by that. That is our essential nature. See, friends. Around the man moves the husband, the father, the son, the brother-in-law, the father-in-law, the friend, the enemy, the officer, the subordinate. They are the periphery of this man. Man is the hub. See, friends. Therefore, instead of giving importance to what is changing, let us focus attention to that unchanging principle. So svanubhutya swayam jnatva swamatmanam akhandikam sa siddha susukham tishtan. Such a wise person is living in bliss. But those who are in the periphery of their personality, their approach is when God is omniscient, why He is allowing the terrorist to act like this? Meaning, he should become the Chaukidar and protect us. This is not the right understanding. Therefore, sa siddha susvam chitam nirvikalpatmanatmani. Now, such a master who is living in the present, now it is dramatization of his experience for us to understand. Kvagatam enavanitam kutra leenamidam jagat. Hey, where this world has gone? Who has taken it away? Like when we wake up from the dream, and in the dream we have seen that when tiger was chasing and we were running, because before sleeping we were watching the Discovery Channel, and the tiger was running, and then you sleep. So the tiger is still running, and you are watching in the dream. So the tiger is following you. Oh God, oh God, oh God. And then you fall down. And poor tiger, he could not complete Brahma Arpanam Brahma. And when you wake up, then, hey, where the tiger has gone? See? Kvagatam kenavanitam putraleenamidam jagat. And where this world has disappeared. See, friends, in Panchadashi, there is one small story. There was a man, and he was given a wrong information by his enemy just to torture and trouble him. That I heard that your son met with a terrible accident in US. Even the enemy tells us some bad news, we accept it. So this man, the father, got very disturbed, frustrated, could not take his food. Finally, he would not hold himself. 12:30, 1 o'clock, daytime in India, he takes the phone and calls. Now who is calling? Father, miserable. And then he calls his son, and the son gives him back. Dad, how many times I told you, don't call this time, it is night here. The father is like, oh, nothing will happen. Now that miserable entity which was born as a result of this news, where it has gone? If it was real, it can be traced. The miserable I, when the misery disappears, where it goes? See, it is for this purpose I like ironing my lungi. Every time I do this, this thought goes deep. When we move the iron box, where the wrinkle goes? Wrinkle is an appearance. It is not other than the cloth. In the same way, everything is an appearance on the cloth, and the cloth is Paramatma, and appearance is Jiva Jagat Ishvara. So what is to be done? Move the hot iron box of meditation. Come to the Nirvikalpa Samadhi. And when this is practiced on a regular basis, supported by reflection, contemplation, supported by devotion to the Lord, supported by unwanted involvement in the world is withdrawn, then this experience will happen. See friends, therefore, Vagatam Kenavanitam Putra Leenamidam Jagat, where this world has gone, where the wrinkles have disappeared. When something bad happens, misery comes. And when something good happens, happiness comes. So where do the misery go and where do the happiness go? Therefore, Vagatam Kenavanitam Putra Leenamidam Jagat Adunaiva Maya Drishtam. I have just seen it right in front of my eyes when I was ironing the lungi. Wrinkles were there. Before the dawn of wisdom, this world was so real, where it has gone. See friends, sometimes when you are watching TV, suddenly the electricity fails. So you see, the whole screen goes back into one bindu in one point and disappears. So when it has gone, we go behind that TV. But the sparrow does. When the sparrow is standing in front of the mirror, she sees there, who is there? Who is there? She goes from behind, nobody. But now she again keeps on and keeps on doing. Where it has gone. We the human beings know that the reflection is merely an appearance, it doesn't have existence. In the same manner, the wise man knows all that is perceived through sense organs, mind and intellect is having the same status and the quality like that of a reflection in the mirror. So like the sparrow fights with the reflection, her own reflection in the mirror. In the same manner, ignorant people find in this world which is nothing but the reflection. See? Vagatam Kenavanitam Putra Leenamidam Jagat Adunaiva Maya Drishtam. Just now, man, I have seen it. Nasti Kim Mahadadbhutam. Isn't it a great wonder of wonders? What is wonder? See, this is the only explanation in many Upanishads Bhagavad Gita is given. Ashcharyavat pashyati kaschidena. It is Ashcharya. Ashcharya is what? Which cannot be established by the routine way of logic and reason. It cannot be established. Therefore, Ashcharya, like somebody is always coming late. And if one day he comes before time, Ashcharya, hey, how come today you are on time? Oh, my watch was, I think, fast. And therefore I came to that. Therefore, Ashcharya, Kim Mahadadbhutam, is it not the wonder of all wonders? Kim Heyam, Kim Upadeyam, Kim Anyat, Kim Vilakshanam. What will you reject in this world? Heyam, worthy of rejection. What will you reject? Right from the body onwards, nothing is ours. This passion, I have given up the world as if the world was yours. As I cannot divorce somebody else's wife, in the same manner, you cannot give up this world when it was yours. But what an arrogance, Vairagi Baba. Khag Vairagi. See friends, Bhagavad Gita very clearly tells, when Bhagavan says, Sarva Dharman Parityajya, what is meant is, come to recognize, nothing was yours in this world. Mata Pita Bandhu Sakha Apano Nahi Koi. But we get caught up in this foolishness. So, Kim Heyam, what will you reject in this world? And Kim Upadeyam, and what you want to get in this world? This is what I give you Mahamantra. I have nothing to do, nowhere to go. This is that Mahamantra. There is nothing that we can reject. There is nothing we can gain in this world. Further, Kim Anyat, is there anything else other than me? See, if I is not there, my wife doesn't exist. If I is not there, my children don't exist. If I is not there, my property doesn't have meaning. If I is not there, my religion has no meaning. Everything is only this I. Maya tatavidam sarvam jagadavyakthamurtina. Therefore, Kimanya, is there anything other than me? And I cannot reject myself. And therefore, I cannot gain myself. Therefore, Kim Vilakshanam, is there anything other than me of opposite nature, like non-existence, inertness and misery? They are not possible. Because even the non-existence is recognized as existing. Therefore, asat, jada and dukkham, they are not possible. So, Kim Vilakshanam, Akhandananda Piyusha, Purna Brahma Maharnave. In this infinite ocean of blissful ambrosia of eternal existence, there is nothing that can be given up or to be gained. This is the ultimate experience. And the one who is abiding in this has nothing to do, nowhere to go. Thereafter, life is just lived like a dry leaf from a tree falls and doesn't have any program to go here and there. See? And when the leaf falls, the tree doesn't feel bad. Let us do the Shraddha Karma for the leaf. See, friends, keep on holding on to this thought. न किंचिदत्र पश्यामि न शृणोमि न वेद्म्यहम्. There is nothing that I see here because I am the only one. There is no seer seen difference. न पश्यामि न शृणोमि. There is nothing that is being heard and I become the hearer. न वेद्मि, nor I am the knower and something is known. Meaning, the relative experience of duality has completely dissolved and Swatmana eva sadananda rupena asmi swalakshana. Therefore, I am ever sadananda rupena, ever blissful experience that I am, and swalakshana, this is my essential nature, thus I am living in this. असंगोहम अनंगोहम अलिंगोहम अहम हरिः प्रशांतोहम अनंतोहम परिपूर्णश्चिरंतनः. So these are the expressions to make us understand. Wise man never says these things. Wise man never says, I am wise, world is otherwise, I am realized, world is not realized, I am infinite, world is finite. This is for us only to understand. Therefore, as I said, dramatization. So, asangoham, I am unattached. See, attachment demands two things. If there is only one thing, there is no attachment. Attachment is also not possible when something is superimposed as illusion. Like the rope is not attached to the illusion of snake. The gold is not attached to the name and the form of the ornament. The man is not attached to the husband. If the man is attached to the husband, he cannot sleep. But normally the husband they sleep before the wife sleeps. Because why? Not attached. It is so simple. In fact, attachment is an illusion. Come to cognize this. This also I told you number of times. The basic rule is illuminator is never influenced by what is illumined. So eyes illuminate colors and forms. Eyes are not attached to anything. Ears illuminate all sounds. They are not attached to any sound. Therefore, they can illuminate all the sounds. Similarly, the mind supports all kinds of thoughts, but not attached to any thought. And so is the case of this pure absolute conscious being, supporting waking, dream, deep sleep, samadhi, but not attached to any one of them. So asangoham is a translation of our experience, which we have to cognize. Yes, this is so. So asangoham. When we practice this, even if you want, thoughts cannot erupt in the mind. It is our illusion that without a particular thing or a particular person or a particular condition, I cannot exist. This is an illusion. It is not true. Therefore, asangoham, anangoham. See, in the deep sleep, are we gross body or subtle body or causal body, or we are beyond all the bodies? Anangoham. We do not have any anga, limbs, the body, etc. And alingoham. And there is no linga. Lingam is a pointer. Like when we see the tricolor, we are reminded of India. In the same manner, there is no linga. The Mahatma is that who has got a long beard, and longer the beard is, more the wisdom. There is no linga like that. Alingoham and aham hari, and I am the Hari, who hara means to loot away, to take away. I take away everything in me. So in deep sleep, where the whole world disappears, it goes back in me. Aham Hari and Prashantoham. See, this word Prashanta is very important. We know Ashanti, we know Shanti, but we have never tried Prashanti. Ashanti, no discussion, commentary is required, because that is our Sthai Bhava. Shanti when Ashanti is absent. But there is ultimate Prashanti where Shanti cannot improve it and Ashanti cannot destroy it. That which is supporting both the Shanti and the Ashanti is Prashanti. See? That which is supporting the presence and the absence is beyond the presence and the absence. That which is supporting the knowledge and the ignorance is beyond the knowledge and the ignorance. That which is supporting the joy and the sorrows is beyond the joy and the sorrows. That eternal presence is Prashantaha Aham and Anantoham. And this is not a temporary condition just during the satsanga and after that Bindhas Dundalaka. No. Anantoham Paripurnas Chirantanaha, and ever abiding in this infinite blissful state of my own being. Akartaham abhoktaham avikaroham avyaha shuddha bodhaswarupoham kevaloham sadashivaha. Akartaham. Now this earlier verse gave away all the conditioning, gross conditioning of the gross body. Now here akartaham, now subtle body is being given. Kartrutva, the doership is located in the subtle body, the Vijnanamaya Kosha. So I am the doer, I am the enjoyer, I am the sufferer. This doership is the subtle body, therefore akartaham, I am not the doer. If you are not the doer, you cannot get karma phala. Now see, we all want to get out of our prarabdha, is it not? To get out of the prarabdha, this is a simple technique. It cannot be simpler than this. One child taught me this principle many years before. A very naughty child made a mess, and I was observing that, and he himself started shouting, Dadima, look here, our maid servant has made a mess here. And Dadima came, Mera Krishna, kya ho gaya? Krishna. See, she has made a mess here. And the old lady calls the maid servant, starts scolding. And I have seen with my beautiful eyes, this fellow made the whole mess. So he taught me one principle. If you are not the doer, you are not qualified to get the punishment. See, we all suffer because I am the doer. And when we become the doer, before doing the karma, we are excited, or nervous, or frustrated. During the karma, we are confused. And after the karma is over, we have regrets. You know, I went to Switzerland, and in a mountainous area. I didn't know who are those people, but somehow, some force kind guiding me, I went there. And somebody's house, there was some kind of yoga things, Buddha sitting somewhere. I went with my friend. He said, Swamiji, don't do like this thing. In this country, you are not supposed to go to anybody's house without appointment. I said, don't worry, you just follow or you remain alone. I went and thanked her. Morning about 10 o'clock. One lady opened the door. And who is this? I said, Mama, won't you ask me to come inside? Yes, come. I can't trust my eyes. One Swami has come to me from nowhere. I am so happy. I said, then give me a cup of tea. Then my friends followed. And when we were slowly becoming friendly, then she said, next Sunday, if you can come, we have got people here. I will call also my friends and we can have something on meditation. I said, okay. And she had two sons. Very sweet. One was, about 18 and other was about 20. Very rare European children. Not like the usual European children. So, when the next time when we were having a lecture, this younger boy came and told me, Swamiji, are you nervous? Don't worry, I am sitting with you. If you find any difficulty, you just do like this to me. I will supply you word because I am good in English. You are from India, you may not be doing proper English, but don't worry, I am sitting with you. And whenever you get nervous, look at me and I will think. So, when I am the doer, before doing the karma, there is nervousness. During karma, excitement. After karma, why did I say like that? Regrets. Why? Because I am the doer. Akartaham. Therefore, the wise people are never excited because of the success and never have regrets if there is a failure. If you want to practice this technique, the technique is live in this world as a time pass. Whenever we live for a time pass, Kartrutva Abhiman is not born. Okay. Just observe this principle. Sometimes we have got some time. खाने को और टाइम अभी आधा घंटा टाइम है. Oh God. Let's go for a walk. No, going for a walk is not for health. Is not for achieving anything. Just to kill that half an hour so that we can eat afterwards. Exactly this is the way. Lead every moment of your life as a time pass. Okay. Akartaham. And when we give up this doership from our system, there is no misery whatsoever. Akartaham, then abhoktaham. So if I am not the doer, I am not the enjoyer. See, this definition I gave you some time back. Action without a doer is Paramatma. Joy without an enjoyer is Paramatma. And knowledge without the knower is Paramatma. So when the doer, knower and the enjoyer are not crystallized in our life, then Paramatma is expressing through the same counter where from earlier a miserable CH Atma was expressing. And that is why wise people cannot have ahankar, jnana mana jahu ekahu nahi. If there is ahankar, it cannot be the wisdom. Akartaham, abhoktaham, avikaroham, avyayaha. And therefore there are no vikar. Doership is associated with modifications of attachment, frustration, failure, success, and enjoyership is associated with insisting the same type of enjoyment again and again, which never happens. This is what many students, they suffer in their meditation because they want to repeat what happened in one meditation somewhere and whole life. We went to that Kailash, and there we sat for meditation. I tell you, it was a divine meditation. But since then I came to Bombay, I never got that meditation. So we want to repeat that meditation. For that, become Kailasvasi immediately. No experience is ever repeated in life. Nothing is repeated. Everything is unique. And if we learn this art of remaining in this unique experience only for once, personalities are not born. See friends, therefore abhokta aham avyayaha, and therefore there is no gain or loss in me. Shuddha bodha swarupoham, I am of the nature of absolute experience. Bodha means experience. It is not experience of. Now you are having the experience of my lecture. When you go out, then you will be having the experience of, thank God the lecture is over. So experience of is not the thing that the teacher is talking. Shuddha bodha swarupam. It is, in the language of J. Krishnamurti, objectless awareness. We have existence of, knowledge of, experience of. You delete this of. Only knowledge, only experience. Shuddha bodha swarupam. Kevaloham Sadashivaha. Kevala means where all the differences have disappeared. Water is Kevala. But the waves are not Kevala. Because waves have got competitors, the otherness. Ocean and the waves have got cause and effect. It is not Kevala. But from the standpoint of view of the absolute water, there is neither the ocean nor the waves in the same manner. In the absolute reality, there is neither Jiva, Jagata or the Ishvara. So Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, these are Aupadhika, superimposed on this one absolute reality, Kevaloham. That is our essential nature, and therefore Sadashivaha, ever auspicious. There is no trace of impurity, because other than the self, nothing else is. एतां विद्याम् अपान्तराय अपान्तरतमाय ददौ अपान्तरतमो ब्रह्मणे ददौ ब्रह्म घोराङ्गिरसे ददौ घोराङ्गिरा रैक्वाय ददौ रैक्वो रामाय ददौ रामः सर्वेभ्यो भूतेभ्यो ददौ इति एतत् निर्वाणानुशासनं वेदानुशासनं वेदानुशासनम् इति उपनिषत्. This is the concluding mantra of this Upanishad. This knowledge, it is called as the Guru Shishya Parampara. This knowledge was given to Apantara and he gave to Brahmaji, Brahmaji gave to Gorangirasa, Gorangira gave to Raikva, Raikva gave this knowledge to Rama and the Rama gave this knowledge to all the beings, and this is the ultimate Nirvana Anuशासनम. This is the ultimate regarding the liberation while living in this world, and this is Vedanuशासनम. This is the ultimate declaration of the Vedas. And this is all that is to be said in this Upanishad. Therefore, this Adhyatma Upanishad, I told you, Adi Bhautik, materialistic lifestyle, Adi Daivik, Upasana lifestyle, Adhyatmic, Vedantic lifestyle. What is in the world at a material level, it makes no difference. What is in the Upasana? See, you must have read the life stories of many Mahatmas. Right from childhood we hear about him. Oh, when he was small and somebody came and then somebody said something and then he gave such lovely answers. That person, that wise Pandit was so dumbfounded, such a small child, hardly 7 years old. How can he recite the Vedas and all that? Then we are told, it is in the last life, they must have a lot of upasana sadhana, and therefore, Shuchinam Srimatam Gehe Yoga Brashto Vijayate Athava Yoginam Eva Kule Bhavati Dhimatam. And then so many Mahatmas came and blessed him. Adi Daivik Sadhana. Don't wait for when that Mahatma was sitting like this as a child. Some unknown place, some unknown Jatadhari came and lifted him with his name and took him with himself. And his child was sitting in Padmasana and put him in a cave and told him, you were so and so in your last life. Then here we have done meditation. And then we read those books. And then we wait. अब कौन आएगा? अभी आएगा? Don't get lost in that. That is Adi Devi. Adhyatmic, work on yourself. The more you become aware of your own self, we are walking the spiritual path. Otherwise, we get lost only in miracles. I went there and I was all alone and I don't know what to do. And from somewhere somebody came and he told me this thing. I found that. Then wait for the next miracle to happen. That is not spiritual life. Let it happen and disappear. Hold on to the truth. Ekameva Brahma Ehanana Kinchana. Therefore, this is called as Adhyatma Upanishad. It is not called as the Bhutopanishad or Daivopanishad. Daiva Alasi Pukara. Lakshmana says in Ramcharitmanas. Those who are all the time talking about the fate and the thing, they are lazy. Work hard, discover your essential self, and be the source of joy for the whole world.